Trojan War was a conflict between the kingdoms of Troy and Mycenaean Greece during the Bronze Age. The Bronze Age was the period when bronze was regularly used to craft weapons and tools. Many people debate about the facts of the Trojan War because it is mostly based on myth, and we can't separate truth from facts. For all we know, the whole event might have never even happened. Even though we are unsure about the war itself, the city of Troy is indeed a real place from the past. It was founded by Heinrich Schliemann in 1870. There is one main source for the Trojan War, though. There is a poem named the Iliad, which was by an ancient Greek poet by the name of Homer. In his poem The Iliad, it shows events of how the Trojan War had ended. The Trojan War all started with Paris, who was the son of King Priam. He had a smart idea to kidnap Queen Helen of Sparta, or also known as Helen of Troy. This action of his was able to trigger the husband of Helen, Menelaus. He was able to convince the king of Mycenae to go retrieve Helen from Paris. The king's name was Agamemnon, and he was also Menelaus' brother. There were a few Greek heroes, according to Homer's The Iliad, who tagged along with the king to go and retrieve Helen. Their names were Achilles, Odysseus, Nestor, and Ajax. They were not the only people, though. There was also a fleet of over 1,000 ships that had came along on the trip to assist with the rescue. They all crossed the Aegean Sea to Minor Asia to lay siege or surround Troy and get Helen back from the Trojan king named Priam. During their adventure, there were many small clashes and fights. To add to that, there were lives lost. For example, Prince Hector and the hero Achilles were both lost due to the battles. It took the Greeks about more than 10 years until they had decided to pretend and give up. Odysseus had devised a plan to invade the city of Troy, but before they had all left, a master carpenter named Epeus had built a large, hollow, and wooden horse. They all left the Trojan beaches that they were staying on, and they had sailed to a nearby island of Tenedos. The Greeks left that horse, known as the Trojan horse, outside the gates of Troy. There was a long discussion inside the walls of Troy about whether to take the horse in or not, and Priam's daughter Cassandra had warned them, but it was easily overlooked. In the end, they had decided to allow the horse to get pulled in through the gates. It had reached nighttime, and before they knew it, the city was being taken over. The horse opened and came out an army of Greek soldiers led by Odysseus. They climbed out and took over the city of Troy. The Greeks had finally won the 10-year-long war. The Trojan War has become an important event in Greek mythology and stories.